You may know the name. Peter Schweizer exposed corruption by the Clintons in his bombshell book, Clinton Cash. And he is back at it with a brand new target, big tech companies. In his new movie, quote, The Creepy Line, Schweizer explores how companies like Facebook and Google track our data and influence our views. Watch it.
It will always favor one online music service over another and one candidate over another. Google and Facebook has the power to undermine democracy without us knowing that democracy has been undermined.
There's what I call the creepy line, and the Google policy about a lot of these things is to get right up to the creepy line but not cross it.
Peter Schweizer joins me now. The creepy line. Okay, they have things like face recognition and all this personal data. Are they crossing the line?
Absolutely. Google crosses that line every day. And what's important for people to realize, it's not just an issue of privacy, them collecting this information on it. They're actually using this information against you, not just to, try to sell your products, but to try to manipulate your views and your attitudes on political issues and other things. There's academic evidence for it that's overwhelming, and there's just simply no question. I think the question is, what are we going to do about it?
Yeah, and will they loosen their grip to let us do what we need to do about it is also the question, because I can't imagine they do this and it makes no money.
Well, that's right. There's a monetary component. But look, the other thing that Google has done from the beginning is define itself as a different type of company. In other words, they're not just bottom line oriented. They have a mission and a purpose, and it's kind of quasi-utopian in a way, which leads them to embrace certain political views. And they are quite open in manipulating their algorithm and carrying out other activities that are designed to advance those political interests. And guess what? It has results. There's overwhelming evidence that their manipulations and their search manipulations do dramatically influence particularly swing voters, voters that don't have fully defined views. They have a very real impact on the political decisions that those people are making.
So as they try to fill up the public space with the stuff they think we ought to like and ought to know and cross that creepy line, is the answer then for the government to step in any way?
Well, look, here's the interesting thing. Google and Facebook are essentially unregulated because of something called the Communications Decency Act of 1996. And Section 320 of that law basically says these companies are, quote unquote, neutral platforms. They don't edit, they don't exert editorial control.
But they're not neutral platforms.
That's exactly right. And that's the point. The point is that's what they claim they are. That's how they're regulated. They're not. They're basically media companies. Fox, NBC, you name it, are regulated far differently than Google and Facebook. So my point is we don't need new laws. We simply need to call Google and Facebook what they are, which is media companies, and they need to be regulated accordingly.
And as people hear that, they say, well, that sounds like extra government. Yeah, I would imagine that's why they keep calling them to Capitol Hill. One last quick word.
Yeah, it's not extra government. It's calling them what they are. If I start a paper route and then I start publishing a newspaper, I can't say I only run a paper route, regulate me that way.
Good example. Peter Schweizer, want to have you back. Thank you.